Welcome to another installment of Rural Lifestyle Dealers 5 Questions With. My name is Christine Book, Managing Editor, and I'm pleased to be joined by Brandon DeCoff, who is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Generac Chore. We're going to get right into our 5 questions, Brandon, so I'll just start with this. We know that Mean Green, which is a Generac Power Systems company, designs and manufactures innovative commercial line, zero-turn, walk-behind, battery-powered turf care products. Beyond that, what should equipment dealers know now about the company in terms of what sets it apart and what's new?
Great. Thanks, Christine. Really nice to be on with you today and to everyone who's listening. So what dealers should know about Mean Green? So I always like to do a little bit of storytelling. So what really sets Mean Green apart, what I want to do is take you back to the early days of Mean Green, because a lot of what Mean Green is and why we are in the market today starts with where it all began. So Mean Green was founded back in 2009 by Joe Conrad and his son Matt. And I'm sure many dealers have run into Joe over the years. He's quite a character. And what Joe set out to do back in 2009 was really to build an electric mower that could compete with a high-end gas zero-turn mower, which was a really novel approach back in 2009, considering where the industry was 15 plus years ago. So if we go back, we're going to go on the Wayback Machine now. If we go back 15 years and we think about electric mowing in 2009, it was really, there was small mowers. They were very residential in nature. And you had kind of two options. There was a corded option whereby a homeowner was basically tethered to an extension cord to mow their property. Or there were some small residential lead acid based mowers that were wholly inefficient. These smaller mowers could do, about a third of an acre, but then they would run out of a battery. And it was basically, again, it was a lead acid battery, much like you have in automobiles. So you put it on a trickle charger, charge it for a really long time until you could mow again. So it really wasn't a really efficient design. So for Joe to basically come out and say, well, I'm going to build a commercial grade electric mower that can compete with a gas mower at the time was truly like a crazy idea. But Joe approached it a really interesting way. And it comes from where Joe came from. So Joe had a background in aerospace. And in aerospace, there's design principles in play, whereby you need planes that are lightweight, they are strong, they're efficient, and first and foremost, they're really reliable. And so that design principle, Joe utilized that when he was doing the initial concepts for Mean Green mowers. And when you start designing a mower with that in mind and really doing a clean sheet design from ground up, it's very different than just taking a gas zero turn, taking the engine out, putting a battery in and putting some blade motors in. If you actually approach it differently and design it from, again, that aerospace background, you end up with a much different result. And that's really what sets us apart, is it all really begins with a design. And Mean Green basically was the first to market. So they invented the category. Like, they were the first commercial grade electric mowing company out there. And when you're first to market, you have some competitive advantages. So yes, you have some time to iterate and really, get a good product in market, but it also gives you advantages on things like patents. And so Mean Green has a patent on battery location, which is really, really important in commercial electric mowing, because that battery location provides a really low center of gravity. And when commercial operators are using electric mowers, they're not using it on perfectly flat football fields all the time. Like, they mow slopes and banks and, the environments they're in that really require a lot of slopes. And so because that, we have industry leading slope ratings on our mowers because of that patented battery location. It also affords the mowers, handling that is really, really precise, which gives us a competitive advantage. The thing that Joe set out to do was, again, build a really efficient machine. And he was obsessed with making sure that we had the longest run times in the industry. And so, again, that also determines the type of design you put into the machine. And so we start with a really lightweight aluminum chassis. And so you start with a lighter weight frame than you actually have on traditional commercial zero-turn mowers. And then when you combine that with the battery technology and location and the sizes of the batteries and then the cutting system, we're really confident that we have the longest mowing time out there in the commercial mowing space. So, sorry, I'm rambling here, but the original question was like, what sets us apart? Mm-hmm. What sets us apart is we invented the category. We approached it from a different design standpoint, but more importantly, like we have over a decade of real world proven results. So again, you can take my word for it or not, but talk to a commercial operator that's been sitting on a mean green mower for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And what they will tell you is that, again, their experience has been validated what Joe set out to do back in 2009, which was to produce a mower that, again, can compete with that high-end gas zero-turn mower. The other thing, again, that I want dealers to know about, just to make them aware, is, again, what sets us apart is, again, Mean Green is part of the Generac family of brands. So Christine, you mentioned that in the introduction. Generac purchased Mean Green back in 2020. Mean Green is part of the Generac Chore the Chore Products Business Group. And in that group, there's a variety of brands, and Mean Green is one of them. It includes others. Again, many of your dealers are probably familiar with the brand DR Power Equipment. It's a big outdoor power equipment brand out there. Mean Green is part of that Generac family. And then in terms of what's new from Mean Green, two really new exciting products that I'm really happy to talk about. The first is we've recently released a 96-inch commercial electric mower. So this mower is massive. It has folding wings. So when the wings are down, it is mowing at 96 inches wide. And you can fold those. It has electric lifts that lift those wings up. So it can fit on, standard transport trailers. So you can move it from job site to job site. This thing has 5 blades. It has a 44 kilowatt hour battery on it. That's huge for those who aren't really familiar with the battery space. It affords that mower to basically have blades on mowing for 8 hours a day. Now, if you're mowing at 96 inches wide for 8 hours a day, that's a giant piece of real estate that you're out there mowing. And so what we're finding is that the applications that this is really being used in is in parks, athletic complexes. So not just in an athletic field, but where there are 8 to 10 soccer fields together. We're seeing it used in golf course applications because, again, it is designed for as much mowing as you can throw at it within a day. The other thing that's new to market for us is autonomous. So in this commercial mowing space, autonomous has been the buzzword for the last couple of years. And so we partnered with GreenZ, and we've been working with them for years on this project. And we've recently released a 60-inch electric stand-on zero-turn mower, and it is autonomous in nature. The first production units are coming off the line right now, and all I'll say is that this thing is a joy to watch it work. So for those dealers or commercial operators out there that haven't seen this, get a demo with us because this thing really is impressive.